But no, I'm not saying Erika didn't love her husband, but the way she handled things after his death definitely raised eyebrows. Her behavior seemed off. People couldn't ignore how she appeared at Charlie's memorial, making an entrance that felt more like a WWE performance than a grieving widow paying tribute. The crowd's applause, the music, the dramatics, it gave the impression that she was enjoying the spotlight rather than mourning a loss. That moment was when fans started to connect the dots and question her motives. Less than 2 weeks after Charlie's death, Erika was announced as the new CEO of Turning Point USA, an organization that was supposedly still in mourning. For many, that was a suspiciously quick turnaround. On top of that, rumors started circulating that she had inherited Charlie's $12 million estate, and that Turning Point USA had received millions in new donations following his death. As CEO, Erika would now be in control of all of it. People found it strange that instead of demanding justice for her husband's murder, she went silent. No interviews, no posts, no statements. Her quietness was deafening. But while Erika stayed in the shadows, Candace Owens was the one stepping into the light, and she wasn't holding back. Candace started demanding answers, claiming something about Charlie's death didn't add up. She took to social media to expose inconsistencies, saying things like, "If you were in Utah and saw something today, please email me. This is personal." She shared photos, timelines, and even alleged that the FBI was hiding crucial details.
They killed Charlie because he preached a message of patriotism, faith, and of God's merciful love. But they should all know this. If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire country and this world. You have no idea. You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry.
But no, I'm not saying that she didn't love her husband or anything like that. But again, she just had an interesting way of showing out how she felt about his death. And
Candace didn't stop there. She publicly accused the federal government of covering up the truth, saying she was fully of the belief that this was a federal conspiracy. She claimed that the story surrounding the alleged shooter, Tyler Robinson, was filled with lies, from how he was radicalized to how his father supposedly turned him in. Candace alleged that the FBI's narrative was collapsing, insisting that Tyler had never even been to the UVU campus where the shooting supposedly happened, and that the blurry image released by authorities wasn't even him. Meanwhile, she implied that someone powerful, possibly close to Charlie, had orchestrated everything. That's when fans began turning their attention back to Erika. People online started to speculate that Erika might have been part of the plot, pointing out that she hadn't invited Candace to any memorial events or even mentioned her name, despite their close relationship with Charlie. The fact that Candace didn't attend the memorial only made things more suspicious. She later revealed that she skipped it because she believed the same people who took Charlie out were now coming for her. She said she was afraid for her life and that staying silent would have made her complicit. From the outside looking in, it's starting to seem like this tragedy runs deeper than anyone first realized, with questions about money, power, betrayal, and who really benefits from Charlie's death still hanging heavy in the air. So, tell me what you think in the comments. But in another clip, fans became convinced that Candace was throwing subtle shade at Erika, hinting that she might not actually be running the show. In her own words, Candace said, "Erika is in like full control. I would hope she's in full control, but I don't know because I'm hearing some stories about donors that are pushing things. I'm hearing about pressure that's even happening with planning this event." That line had people clutching their pearls. Suddenly, it wasn't just about Candace being too afraid to attend. It sounded like she was questioning who was really calling the shots behind the scenes. Initially, her claim about fearing for her life made sense. I mean, her close friend had just been taken out under mysterious circumstances, and tensions were sky high. But as more people began connecting the dots, her story started to look shaky. The memorial wasn't some open public event. It was locked down tighter than Fort Knox. Security was on full alert, especially after what happened to Charlie. And when you factor in that both the president and vice president were in attendance, it's safe to say the place was swarming with protection. That's why people began to question whether Candace was truly scared, or whether something else was going on behind the curtain. Even the most skeptical folks agreed. If the FBI or the feds really wanted to silence her, doing it at a televised memorial would have been the dumbest move imaginable. It would have only fueled every conspiracy theory tenfold. So what was really happening? Was Candace distancing herself from Erika for personal reasons? Or was she trying to make a point about internal power struggles and money being exchanged behind closed doors? Because fans aren't blind, they've noticed the shift. Many believe this isn't about fear at all, but rather about Erika's growing influence and the possibility that she's not just grieving. She's consolidating power.
I said there is no way we are going to this event now. There's a 0% chance. First and foremost, why are you saying invite? Anybody can go to it. You just buy a ticket to the event, and you're all working to try to get me to confirm that I'm going. And you're doing this as if you're trying to push my buttons and be like, we got to make her get into her ego so she shows up and posts it on social media. Nope, actually, while I'm attacking the feds, maybe not going to a public event, which the feds are organizing, is probably a very good idea. I'm good. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna listen to Power on my headphones and go see Ye. How's that for a memorial for Charlie Kirk? That feels like the right thing for me to do right now.
Rumors are now swirling that Erika herself had Candace banned from the memorial. And honestly, that theory makes a lot of sense. Word is, Erika was furious about Candace digging into Charlie's death, and didn't want her stirring the pot in front of donors, politicians, and the cameras. Because let's be real, if Candace had touched that mic, she would have dropped some serious bombs. And you can't really blame Erika for wanting to avoid more chaos. Ever since Charlie's death, she's been flooded with backlash online, accused of staying silent while Candace leads the charge for justice. Some have even gone as far as to suggest Erika's hiding something, or worse, that she's tied to what happened. Meanwhile, Candace has only doubled down, tweeting that Charlie was battling powerful billionaires who were trying to control his message. She even claimed to have proof, hinting that messages and documents will eventually leak, exposing everyone involved. According to her, Charlie was under immense pressure in the weeks leading up to his death, and she insists those same people are now scrambling to cover their tracks. Candace also hinted that she's in possession of video evidence, saying, "They tormented Charlie until the day he died." Tucker Carlson, "This is a fact." At this point, she's not just throwing shade. She's naming names and promising to expose the billionaires who allegedly wanted Charlie silenced. If that's true, Erika could be facing a lot more than public backlash. She could be staring down a full-blown reckoning. Because if Candace actually releases this footage and it backs up her claims, it won't just rewrite the narrative around Charlie's death. It could completely destroy reputations, careers, and alliances. One thing's for sure, whatever's coming next, this story isn't just controversial anymore. It's about to detonate.